Okay, so to make our rose windows, what we're going to start off with is I've given you a black piece of paper with a white circle around it. And the very first thing we have to do is we have to very carefully cut that white circle out. Now remember, careful cutting, thumbs up. And you want to turn your paper, don't try to turn your hand, turn your paper when you're cutting something out carefully. I'm also resting my scissors on the table, which helps keep it steady. So you can see, now this is getting in my way, so I'm just going to cut that off since it's trash anyway, and throw it off to the side. And then when I'm all done cutting that out, I put my paper scraps in the recycling, okay? Or you can put it in the paper scrap drawer over in the free draw area. Alright, so I'm all done doing that. Now I've got this nice round circle. And the very first thing you do is you fold it in half. And you want to make sure it's folded in half. And the way to do that is to put your fingers right there. And when they both meet, you know that's ready to get folded down. Fold it in half like a taco. Okay? Just like a taco like that. And then, so let's see, it's a little taco. You're going to fold it in half again. And now, it's like a fan. Okay? And now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a white crayon and we're going to draw some geometric shapes on the side. And we're actually only going to draw half of a geometric shape. So half of a diamond is a triangle like that. Half of a square is actually a rectangle. And I'm going to do a half circle just like that. Then I want this to be symmetrical, so I'm going to do the exact same thing over here. Triangle, rectangle, and a half circle. Now you have to cut them out. Remember, careful cutting and put your scraps all in one place so that you can easily put those in the recycling. Now these scraps are going to be too small for the free draw scraps, so we'll just throw those in the recycling. Now when you're done cutting, do not open your circle all the way up yet. I know you're going to want to, but if you open it all the way up too soon, it will get confused and you might mess everything up, and we don't want that. Alright, so then what we're going to do is we're going to open it up so it opens like a book like that. And you're going to be able to see your full shapes in the middle and your half shapes there. And we're going to take this edge, very carefully fold it into the middle. And take this edge and fold it into the middle. So what I did was when it was opened up like this, I folded both sides into the middle. And you can even flip it upside down so that it doesn't come undone. Then make a new pattern on these two new sides. So I think I'm going to make a triangle by doing that kind of triangle. And then I'm going to make a rectangle that way. And then I think I'm going to make an oval by doing that. Now, it needs to be symmetrical, so I'm going to put the exact same shape over here. Okay? Same shapes and same pattern. And then I cut that out. Remember to keep your scraps in a pile so that you can throw them away easily. Careful cutting on the lines. Now it gets a little tricky when you get down to the corner here because your shapes are pretty close together, and you want to make sure that you don't accidentally cut one of the shapes over the lines. Like that. Like that, and there. Okay. Now you can open your circle all the way up. See, now I have a radial pattern, a pattern that goes around. So it goes square, rectangle, square, rectangle, square, rectangle, square, rectangle, circle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle, just like that. All right. Now, do you see how there's little pieces of white on this side? See that? That's the back. There are no white areas on the front. So where you can see a little bit of your crown, that is where you're going to put your name and your class code. Name and class code right in the middle there. Now we're going to start gluing on the tissue paper, and it needs to be a color pattern as well as a shape pattern. So I'm going to make every outside circle this green. Now if I just take one of these squares and I glue that on, it's going to cover up my square there. And when I flip it over, it won't look good. So I might need to cut this down to size, which is great because now I have the same color for all 4 of my squares. And I take my glue stick and I just glue stick around and put it down. Glue stick around and put it down. Uh-oh, that square is too small. So don't use it. Don't try to use 2 to cover it up. Is that one too small? It is. So I'm just going to go get the same color, and you have to be careful that you get the same tone too. See, I've got 2 different kinds of greens. I want to make sure I get the same one. So that's that one. So I kind of measure it a little bit with my eye, and now I can glue that down. So do one shape and one color at a time. That way you're less likely to get messed up. Now I'm just going to do the circles first. Cool. Now, when you flip it over and the light shines through, you can see how you've colored in those spaces. So I'm going to continue making my radial pattern. I think that this time all of my triangles are going to be blue. I'm going to cut down the tissue paper to the size that I need. Glue around and then push it down. Glue around, and be careful not to put glue on your table, otherwise you might end up gluing the tissue paper to your table, which is not what we want. And then I'm going to keep gluing so you can see my pattern here that I've started. Green, blue, green, blue, green, blue. Circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle. Just like that. I've got one more triangle to fill in here. Then I can move on and I could do red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, and then I could do something like blue, pink, blue, pink, blue, pink, blue, pink. as long as it's a radial pattern, and each one of your shapes is the same color. So all of my ovals are going to be pink, all of my diamonds are going to be blue, all of my rectangles are going to be yellow, all of my squares are going to be red. And that's my plan. Be careful not to glue your tissue paper onto the front. That won't look good. It's not what we want. So be sure that you do all of the gluing on the back. All right, that's it.